Blessings to my kin and them. Can you see? Are you listening? See, listen. I'm thankful for this time together because today we are going to talk a little bit about good and bad and the choices that we make. First off, we're going to talk about some just we're going to touch on lightly the realms of good and bad and us faced with choice and talk through that. So I have a little bit of good tea that tastes bad. Oh yeah, it's not good. Starting off, we're gonna dive into the world of bacteria. The good, the bad, and everything in between. So let's start off with bad bacteria. Bad bacteria are little microbes that can spell trouble for our bodies. It can cause illness, it could cause disease, and it puts a stronghold on what you can do, how you can move, how your body reacts, even down to, well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But now there are some good bacteria. Some of you may have heard of it. The bacteria that help to build up our immune system, that help to break down our foods. The bacteria that helps us to just have our bodies running smoothly, right? And so, even in the little microbes, because we talk a lot about the micro and the macro. The micro is the details, the itty bitty organisms, the atoms and components that make up us, right? And for us, we feel as though we are the center of the world because all of these details and intricate systems are all within us. The macro is that reflected into the whole universe and how we are the itty bitty microbes, the good, the bad of us that are affecting the flow and the smooth running of our whole atmosphere. Okay, the earth, the world. So let's get back to it. So yes, the friendly bacteria, it helps our body to run smoothly. And it's like having a personal army of superheroes, right? So one of the biggest things that you are blessed with is choice. It's a huge responsibility. So much so that choice can become very hard. It can become fearful. It can become breathtaking. It can become debilitating for some, having to make a choice, having to step out into the unknown, having to rely on yourself, having to trust yourself, and having to be confident in the unknown. The unknown, I've said multiple times, because choice becomes scary when you don't have the knowledge. And we know and hear throughout scripture how, my people die for a lack of knowledge. The beginning of Proverbs is the beginning of wisdom. And we're going to talk a little bit about Proverbs today as we open up our minds to the concepts of good and bad and equip ourselves for better choices. So now, when we talk about choices, whether we're talking about what we're eating, how we're speaking, how we're moving and operating, the thoughts that we are allowing to flow through our minds, all of it is a choice. From the words that come out of our mouth to the things that we put into our mouth is all a choice. How we are feeding the inside and outside of our bodies, the micro and the macro. What life are we speaking into the world, and what are we consuming into our world? So it's parallels, just like the bacteria. And so that's why we're going to talk about the different levels and realms of good and bad. And we're going to put it into concepts where we can just take a step back and realize the value and importance of every decision that we make. Not just the big ones, but the small ones too, those microbes. So just like bad bacteria can wreak havoc, junk food and unhealthy habits can also wreak havoc on your body and your mind. Now, on the flip side, those good choices can help enlighten us, encourage us, motivate us, and affirm us into the steps that we need to make to have a positive, uplifting, abundant, and full life. So it starts and ends with you. Now, did you know that statistically speaking, 1 in 6 people in America will get sick from a foodborne illness each year? Every 1 in 6 person. I love to eat. I love to eat anything. And I'm not picky. I'll try it all. And never have I ever had any issues. Cast iron stomach, some joke about it. Some are impressed by it. Some are concerned by it. But never have I ever, right? Well, I have experienced a touch of food poisoning. It was just a touch. Boy, I thought I had COVID. I thought I was dying. It was the worst ever. And it made me stop to realize the very importance of choices with my food. Taking time to learn about what I'm eating, the life shelf of it, the life of it, because everything can go from good to bad, can go from bad to good. Everything can change. And really taking into the mindset that concept, not just in time, but also in application and in choice and how we use things. There is a such thing, I'm going a little off topic, as we're familiar with drug abuse. When you are overusing drugs and using them violently, and I say violently because it's in ways that are damaging to your body. Using drugs that don't have any health benefits towards your body, but more so are just for that quick satisfaction, that quick joy, like bad food, junk food, like bad bacteria. They may give us a quick moment of satisfaction, of endorphins, of pleasure, but they wreak havoc. Just like bad food. So each year, right? So they get that food poisoning across the globe. Across the globe, disease caused by bad bacteria is a major health issue. Major health issue. And so today we're going to have a call to action about our choices and being wise about the things that we put into our body and what we put out into the world. And so we are champions of our health, making better choices from the top to bottom, from our crown to our toes, and everything in between. So this is turmeric tea. Let's jump over to scripture, and we're going to look at Proverbs 18:21. We got to get our mind right with choices. So if we go to Proverbs 18:21, I'm out of the King James Bible. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits. He who finds a... Okay, let's go up to 20. A man's stomach shall be satisfied from the fruits of his mouth. From the produce of his lips he shall be filled. Death and life are on the power of the tongue. I always say life and death, but death and life are on the power of the tongue. And typically, as us through the flesh, we tend to move into death before we move into life. Why is that? Because our flesh drives us there. When we operate in the flesh, it is all about desire. It is about lust. It is about feeding self. Self is the flesh. And so I just wanted to take a moment to hone in on that, because when we understand what it means when we say, a man's stomach shall be satisfied from the fruit of his mouth, our soul, our being is fed off of what we put out there, off of the affirmations and the truth that we speak. We have dominion over this world, right? Dominion and choice. And those two concepts, it is a powerful responsibility that we have been given to not only take care of ourselves, this whole temple, this whole being right here, but also to reflect out to others, the multitudes of beings in this world. And then on top of that, to show appreciation and blessings to this earth, this Mother Earth that births us life every day, to give us the ability to breathe through the trees and the atmosphere every day as we operate in this flesh. And so what our goal is today is to equip us so that every choice we make guides us closer and closer away from the flesh and into our higher self, back to soul and spirit. And that's in good choices. That's in good choices from what we put into our soul, what we put out of our soul. I'm going to keep saying that all morning. So this scripture reminds us of the words and choices that we have that can affect our lives, our bodies, our mind, and our soul, right? I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of scientific facts into this conversation. Thoughts and emotions can truly impact our bodies, our beings, our mental and our biological health. Let me say that again. Thoughts and emotions can impact our biological health. So the way that our body and our temple is operating can be dramatically impacted by the words that you speak out, by the things you meditate on, the beliefs that you are allowing to live in your mind is going to progress into this 3D realm. Everything that we see around us, from pictures on the wall, from hairstyles, from clothing made, from electronics that have been given to us, from automobiles to let there be fluorescent lights, all of that first started in our minds. Everything created started in our minds and then became a reality. And so it is imperative that as we think about the choices we make, start with what's going on in your beautiful minds. Is it speaking life to you? Is it uplifting? Is it motivating? Is it reminding you of the good in your choice? Is it alarming you of the bad in your choice? Is it stopping you from executing things that are dangerous and hindering you from moving into a wicked world, into a bad choice, into a move that's going to be destructive and wreak havoc on yourself, your life, and your body? What drinks are we drinking? I'm not just talking about alcoholic drinks. I'm not talking about the big bad wolf here. We are talking about Little Red Riding Hood, the little white lies, the little coverings that we put over ourselves that are okay, that society says okay, the extra scoops of sugar, the sodas that are sold on sale every day at the store, the caffeine that fills our morning. What are we drinking? What about the life of water that is given to us? What about the dependence of our bodies seeking to be connected with Mother Nature, Earth? How we replicate the dimensions and the parameters and the balance of Earth, from water to flesh. We need water. And sugar does nothing for our bodies. Even if we take in fruits, we have to be considerate of how much sugar is being taken in with these fruits and smoothies and health codes. Is it a good balance? Am I overdoing it in the bean section? Am I wreaking havoc on my community? All of these things are things to think about, right? Because we ultimately are not only here for ourselves, but also for our brothers and sisters, to share and spread good news, to equip each other to live a life of abundance here on this earth, in this world. And we have that ability in every choice that we make. It's not only who we talk to and how we talk to them, it's who we are to ourselves. It's how we feed ourselves and love ourselves and care for ourselves and speak to ourselves. Did I say that? Please speak life. The ways that we can speak life is by choosing the good bacteria, by being aware of what we're putting inside of ourselves, by reminding ourselves of our strength, our power, our ability to choose today. You are amazing because today you are choosing health. Today you are choosing to be good to yourself, to love yourself through a beautiful shower, to strengthen yourself by lotioning up your body and praising yourself for every able limb that you have. You are amazing today because your mind rested last night and it's full of zest and zeal to bring you good thoughts and creative energies. Your eyes are beautiful because you see the world in a way that brings peace, joy, and love. Your smile shines through your soul and brings light to others. Your ears are great because you hear the depths of people's needs and you meet them there. Your hair is beautiful because every strand twists and twirls in a way of wild, unknown, natural abilities that can't be tamed but can move into direction and brush and flow into ways of new creations. You are an amazing being. You are life. You are love. You are strong. And you are beautiful. What type of life are you speaking over yourself? What type of choices are you making today? Remind yourself of your power, that you have the choice to be great, to be good. Be the bacteria that runs smoothly in the body of the world. Be the bacteria that brings immunity, that brings unity, that brings strength and protection and provision over the world. You know, studies in metaphysics, in mental, biological research, and many other realms, have shown that stress, negativity, and unhealthy thoughts can wreak havoc on your physical health. While speaking positively, thinking positive thoughts can give you positive results in whatever health situation that you're faced with. So your mind is such a powerful machine and mechanic. It is moving and operating this entire temple. If you think about it, have you seen the videos where people have the camera strapped on their head? And when you're watching it from that view, it's like their body is just dangling around because the head stays still and the camera's recording. Kind of like this. That is exactly how your mind is operating. Your mind is a starting point that is moving and guiding the rest of your body, from how it operates and functions to how your limbs move and grow, from how your eyes blink, from how you interpret and receive the world. All of that starts here. All of it starts here. It doesn't start with the person that is speaking. It doesn't start with the interaction you had. It all starts here. Because how you perceive it, how you receive it, is all up in here. And so it is very important that any news that you get, you have the ability to turn it into life or death. It is not the person giving you that news. It is not the news itself. You have the ability to turn it into death or life. Have it to come inside of you as good bacteria, getting things flowing, running smoothly, reminding you of, so as a warning, as a measure of getting back on track. Heed to these bodily warnings that we have. Whether it be a little ache in the side, whether it be a stretch that's needed, whether it be water that it's crying out for because we're dehydrated and our back is aching, our kidneys are hurting, you're bent over crying out for help. Because it all started with choice. Choice to love ourselves, to take care of ourselves. So today is about making us aware. So I don't want to stress too much on it. I'm trying to be nice on the topic. But it is very important that we recognize our power and stop leaving it on the table. Stop running to the fast food restaurants because it's easy. Stop drinking the soda because it's sweeter. Let me drink this nasty tea. Stop adding 2 scoops of sugar to your tea every morning. No, it's fine. But we all have opportunities, and we know what they are. And in addition to our call to action to recognizing, reading, and stopping, pausing, and reflecting on our good and bad choices, I also want us to review the day and see what choices that you have in your routine. Are they good for you? Are they bad for you? Are they somewhere in between and might need some tweaking to make sure that overall we're moving towards a higher, elevated, healthier self? Maybe. Good and bad bacteria, good and bad choices, good and bad thoughts, words, movements, and actions. Every day you are faced with them. The good, the bad, and everything in between. Hopefully it's not ugly but pretty to me. All of it is intertwined, an intricate dance of life. And every day that we are here, we are dancing into the choices that we make. I love to dance, and I want to remind you to dance with me. The key to arm ourselves is knowledge, and to make the informed choices that are right for us, our bodies, our moves, and where we are in our life, where we are in the macro of this universe. What convictions do we have? What convictions should we have? To have a healthier and happier life, temple, body, soul, and universe. Remember, we take charge of our health, our well-being, and let's keep in mind the power of our words, our minds, our thoughts, and emotions. I want to take us, I'm going to just read from here, Philippians 4:8. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, and whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if they be of any virtue, and if there be any praise, think these things. So think the things of good thoughts. Think the things of positivity to move you into virtue, to have you get a zest and a push and a re-energizing of goodness. It has to start with what you feed yourself, and that will fuel your choices, your moves, and your actions. Feed yourself truth. Feed yourself knowledge. Accept it. I can do better. I can cut back the sugar. I can cut back the breads. I can be selective on the meats. I can slow down on the fast food. I can speak life over myself. I can share myself with positive thoughts, shower myself with positive thoughts, share the positivity into the world. I can take time to love me, whether it be a shower, a glass of water, a 5-minute meditation, or a 5-minute affirmation. Love yourself. For God did. And how do you think he would feel seeing one of his blessings, a gift that he created by hand, every detailed, intricately made to have a purpose? What do you think he would feel if he saw you treating it bad, wreaking havoc on it, turning it into death, killing it, stealing its life, and destroying its health? Kill, steal, and destroy are things the adversary does. Who are you to you? Are you life or death? Can you see? Are you listening? I wish you the best. To my Canada. Until next time.